It's really cool.
I'm sorry, could you not understand me? You gotta check this out. This has gotta be one of the coolest grinds I've ever done on anything ever. It is super cool. I left the blade super thick because I wanted to do a deep hollow grind in combination with a deep fuller. And it is coming out amazing. The blade's almost 3/8 of an inch thick, a little bit under. But with these deep hollow grinds, it's already less than like a half a pound, the blade is. Got a really cool taper this way. The blade's tapered this way. Got these deep hollow grinds and the fuller's coming out really cool. I thought I made it too deep, but it's turning out really nice. It's probably gonna end pretty close to the tip, but it's tapering down to nothing. You gotta see a top view of this. We'll get some close-up shots of this. It's got a really cool looking taper on it. I'm mostly done rough grinding this. I can start doing the final grinding now, which is gonna be a nightmare because this thing is also one of the hardest things I've ever ground. Only surpassed by that sword because of how long it was.
The next day.
Time for a little stab test. This thing's made for stabbing and I wanna stab something. Oh, the water's not even leaking out very fast.
It was just for fun. Ooh. Whoa! Woo!
The next day.
I hand sanded the fuller to 600 grit, and then I hand sanded the main bevels to 600 grit as well. Went ahead and put the file guide on here and ground the tang down. I wanted the tang to have a taper on it so that I could fit my guard up. So the fuller on the tang and the rest of the tang material all has to taper to the blade in order to do the hidden tang style guard fit that I'm gonna do. The tang looks really cool on this thing. I like it pretty much as the blade. It's got a really cool taper going this way, and it's got a fuller all the way down it. So this is probably the most proud I've ever been of a tang on a knife. Besides maybe a full tang. There's been some really cool full tangs, like they had Damascus that I was really proud of. The next thing I gotta figure out is I really need to get more of a game plan for my guard. I don't need the exact guard shape and everything, but I need a general outline of the size of the guard, the front spacer, and the size of the handle. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time designing and hopefully come up with something and get a game plan together for how wide all the handle and pieces are gonna be so we can eventually move on to making a guard, front spacer, fitting a handle, and all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I still don't fully know what I'm doing on this guard, but I've got two little slugs like this ready to be turned down on the lathe. I think the game plan is to turn down the lugs of the guard individually and then thread them onto the main body. If I had a 4-jaw chuck for my lathe, I might be able to do it all in one piece a little easier the way I'm wanting to, but since I'm gonna do something special on the ends, I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out how to hold the piece without threading them together. So I've got 4/16 stainless forged out here. I'm gonna start trying to see if I can just get it turned down into a uniform round shank, and then we can start shaping it and doing different things from there. I have something in my mind. I drew it. I spent like forever drawing it on paper. I kind of like what I have on paper, but it's not quite what I have in my mind. So I thought maybe if I just started doing it, that it would become clear. Either that or I'm just gonna ruin stuff and waste time. I'm using a tiny Grizzly combo mill lathe for this. The mill is not worth anything. It doesn't work well at all, but the lathe part works just fine. Well, there's a cleaned up rod. It's round, it's clean, and it's round. There's a guard hiding in there somewhere. I just don't know what it looks like yet. It's somewhere in that piece of metal though. I say guard, I mean just 1/1,000,000 of the guard. I think if I look at it long enough, it'll reveal itself. Coffee break. Oh, it's really hot. Just poured it.
I feel like you're playing chess in your head, Kyle. Thinking 10 moves ahead.
10? Like 110. And now we interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast to answer a few questions about the online course we're working on. Question number 1, how long is the online course going to be? Our estimate is that it's going to be right around 15 to 25 hours. Question number 2, what's the online course about? I'm going to teach you how to make this buoy from start to finish. The third question you guys have been asking about the course is, who is this course for? This course is for anyone who really wants to get in deep and see how and why I do things the way I do, and learn tons of little tips and tricks along the way, and be able to help take your work to the next level. The fourth question you guys are asking is how long until the course is ready for purchase. It's hard to tell exactly, but it should be ready to go in 1 to 3 months. So I've been staring at this part for a while. It's not gonna work for the dagger. I'm having a hard time holding it in the lathe vise. I think my vise is probably not the most accurate, so when there's not much metal to hang on to, I can't get it mounted in there just right, so I need to leave myself more metal probably to clamp the vise onto, or the chuck rather. This is amazing though. Cutting that material away just like on a wood lathe works really, really, really well, except for one time I caught the edge of it in the chuck and it pulled it down and bent the thing I had it resting on and everything. That happened, it went chunk, and I was like, I really like the curve that's going on in here, but like I said, I just need to leave myself more length to grab onto with the lathe so I could move the part around and do some different things I wanted to do. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this piece a little more though, just to experiment with putting facets and some little angles and stuff on it. That way I'll have a better idea of how I want the next one to go. I definitely have to start over on this, but I want to go ahead and do a little more filing and stuff on it just to kind of use it as a practice piece in order to see if I like what I had in my mind as far as putting some facets around the edges of this. I think I'm about done doing some practice on this test piece and ready to move on to giving it a second try. I'm gonna forge out a whole nother guard, and we're gonna try to make the quillions one piece with the center part instead of having them screw on, which is what I kind of was planning on doing with this one. Stick around for the next video, and I'm gonna give it another try and see if I can get it to come out closer to the way I wanted it to look. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.